Hey guys, welcome to the editorial discussion of the Hindu, and today the date is 28th of June. So the same thing is also available in Hindi. If you at all want to see it, then do come to visit my YouTube channel and you can watch there. So let's see what are the articles we will discuss today. Yeah, the first very article is about the Indo US ties. There are many progressive things what happened between India and US during the visit of our Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi. So let's see what are the things actually that talks happened. So this is a very important for us to as a for international relations perspective. So we will discuss this. Next is Philippines. There is influence of Islamic State in Philippines, right? So this is not important as such for us because there are many things which are described about what inside of Philippines things, right? So, but only thing what we have to learn, what we are the takeout from this is the influence of Islamic State in Southeast Asia is increasing, right? And it should be a matter of concern for India. That's it. This is the only line what you should remember. All right. So we will not discuss this Philippines issue. Next is the condition of women in Pakistan. It is a very good article. We'll discuss it that because the condition of women worldwide is almost same, right? So it's almost same. So we'll discuss that also. Next is non-performing asset issue has been delved in this article. This is very important article because the article is telling that there must be a regulatory changes coming out within the structure who is being regulating these non-performing assets. So we'll just discuss about it. This very good points are there. So let's start the very first article, guys. Indo US ties. So first in this page we will first discuss about the what are the positive takeaway that took place during the visit of Mr. Narendra Modi to America, right? So positive takeaway was that there was personal bonhomie shown between the both the leaders. What happened was like Narendra Modi has given invitation to the daughter and son-in-law of Mr. Trump, right, to visit India for the start of meet and something like that. So this is a personal bonhomie shown. So this is a very some sort of good indication, right? Next, India has urged US that they should further restrict the Pakistani aid whatever they are providing because Pakistan is ultimately using those aid for the for sending terrorists in India. So that kind of thing has also been dealt upon. Next is the issue of China. India has said to US that China is constructing their One Belt One Road initiative passing through Pakistan occupied Kashmir without taking the consent of Indian government, right? So they're increasing the issues that China should not do, and US must tell China to not proceed with that project from Pakistan occupied Kashmir. All right. Next, the good key. The positive takeaway was like after seeing the U.S. instance on South China Sea, India thought that U.S. will not be no more strategic ally to India, but after this meet, it was confirmed that the continuity of India and US strategic partnership goals will continue throughout, right? So they are not still vanished, though there is soft instance in South China Sea, but still those relations will be continued, right? India has also said that we are very strategically we are very same we are having same visions as what US is having regarding the strategic convergence and share vision around the issues like North Korea, Afghanistan and West Asia, right? So these were all the issues being discussed. These are the positive takeaway what we can take from the recent visit of our Indian Prime Minister. Next, in this page, we are discussing about the what are the negative thing or the thing which has not been discussed between Indian government and American government, right? So those things are, let's see what happens. What this America, they are telling that American industries are not getting the same preference as what Indian industries are getting in America, right? So what are the key issues they are telling that India is not allowing us to proliferate those sectors in India are balancing trade deficit, right? Trade deficit balance is between India and US is not that good. Next is protecting the innovation. You know that they always they always allege us that we don't respect the IPR issue or something like that. So this is also the issue. Next is increasing market access. They are telling that India is not allowing us to have increased market access in India itself. All right, and they are telling that non tax barrier are implemented by India. So these are the issues raised by the American counterpart. Right now, there are few issues which has not been brought up. Those were the very hot topics, but those were not brought up, right, during the talks. And those were the immigration issues of HIV visa. You know that they have restricted the HIV visas for outer personnel, right, and which impacted India very much. So that this issue was not been discussed at all. And the very most important issue which has not been discussed was the Paris climate change, from which the Trump has withdrawal US from that change. So these are some of the gray areas which the article is focusing, that these areas has not been discussed upon. All right, let's see the next article. It was about the life of Pakistan. So the article is stating that there were many problems being faced by the Pakistani women there in Pakistan. Let's see what are those problems. Pakistani people have misogynist attitude, and what is misogynist? This key term, misogynist is a prejudice against women, right? They have very much prejudice against women, and article is telling that Islam religion can be said to be the responsibility of this prejudice, because there are many customs which exclude women from many social interaction what their counterparts in the West or India is having, right? So they also want to become like a woman. They also want to face the liberty what the Western girls and the Indian girls are having. So but they were not allowed due to this Islamic bondation, whatever the things are there, right? And the article is also telling that there is a low gender gap index in Pakistan. Though India is also having low gender gap index, but the Pakistan condition is very bad, and it is only better than the country like Yemen, right? Only Yemen is better, I mean worse than Pakistan. But this is what the main issue is being focused upon, right? Now let's see the very next slide. This was all about the problem we have discussed. Now they are telling that no, Pakistan is also changing since last 2 decades, right? Now what are the changes? Let's see. The enrollment of Pakistani girls in education is increasing. I mean percentage wise it's increasing, not in absolute term. I mean percentage wise, say for example it might increase by 50%, and in that case the percentage increase in boys enrollment is like 25%. I'm just giving an example of that, right? Now the article is also telling that they are getting the political inclusions in it, right? Then women are becoming the role models in Pakistan, like Malala Yousafzai. Then there are laws being implemented in Pakistan which augurs for the protecting of women rights and liberty in Pakistan, right? Then there are many initiatives which are being very promoted by the Pakistani government, like Women's on Wheel. In Women's on Wheel, this was the initiative in which Pakistani women were allowed for driving cars, cabs and different things, right? So though despite there was some male conservationist opposition, but still Pakistani society is promoting these all things, right? One more very important thing which has been kept forth, which you can write in your articles or essays, are like electronic media and accessibility of mobile phone has given the Pakistani women very liberty, right? What happens is earlier they were confined to their homes. They were asked to only cook foods for their husbands and all. But now since their access to the media and mobile phones, so they can interact with the whole world. They can see what is happening in the world around, right? And by those happening they can also take few lessons or something like that, right? And the society of overall Pakistan is changing, and this is a good indication, right, for everyone, because the woman is getting empowered. So next, let's come to the next article, guys. It's it's about the Insolvency Code. Basically, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Act, you know that it has been implemented in India. So the article is telling that whatever the situation is actually very complex in India, right? What So before starting this topic, I would like to focus you on few of the key terms which is often used in economics. These are insolvency, bankruptcy, and non-performing asset. Insolvency is a situation when the debtor, means who has taken the loan, is not in a position to pay back the loan to the creditor, I mean to the bank in this case, who has given the loan, right? He's not in a position. And bankruptcy in this is a situation in which that man who was not in a position has legally, in fact he has legally declared that I can't pay you anymore, right? So that situation will be bankruptcy. Now let's see what is non-performing asset. We know non-performing asset is related to bank loan, right? So bank, basically a loan for a bank is an asset, right? And now if any company is unable to pay either the principal or the interest, or both principal and interest, to the creditor who has given the money to him, then that money will be treated as non-performing asset, because it is not yielding any result, right? Due to which, I mean, it was meant for, right? So it is not yielding any result. So that in that case, that asset will be called non-performing asset. Now the measures, there are a few measures that have been taken by the Indian government to deal with these non-performing assets are recently RBI has announced that under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016, if any company is pursuing the acquisition thing, then what happens is, like those companies will be exempted from the open offer obligation. Now what open offer obligation is, like in this case what happens is, say for example this is a bankrupt company, right? And you have purchased the shares of it, right? Earlier the shares were 15 rupees and you have purchased it by 10 rupees. Now when you will sell this shares again to the secondary market, then you have to sell it at a cost which is less than 15 rupees, all right? And you means since you have earned a profit of 5 rupees here, so you must give the profit to the one who is purchasing the shares next to after that, right? So you just have to give it at either 12 or 13 rupees. That was the rule which RBI has proposed earlier, and that rule was open offer obligation, all right? But now the case is they have removed these obligations, means now you are allowed to sell it in 15 rupees also, right? Means you will be getting the profit out of it, and that will be decided by you whether you want to get the profit or not. Next, RBI is taken as that RBI has sent the name of 12 stressed account to IBC, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, and they have tell that okay, you can take the decision. And what are those 12 account holders? They are resulting in 25% of the total gross NPA of Indian economy, all right? So they have RBI, this move is very applauded. I mean, this is a very good move indeed. Next is, guys, RBI has more power to direct bank to resolve. RBI has recently said bank that they have the power to resolve their bank loans. I mean, RBI has given independence to few banks that yeah, you can resolve whatever the bank loans you are facing as of now, all right? But the article is telling that it is a tough task as of now, because the economic situation in India per se is not that friendly, right? Why is not that friendly? Say for example, if any steel company is getting bankrupted, then what happens is there will be no purchaser of a steel company, because a steel is some sort of technical thing, right? So to purchase that technical company, there must be one technical company, right? But in case of any business company getting, a normal business company getting bankrupted, so for him many purchasers will be there, okay? So the article is focusing that our economic system is complex, so we need to take some another type of measures regarding that. Now what are those measures? Let's see. The very first measure which article is promoting for is allowing the bankers for necessary haircuts. Now what haircuts means? Say for example, a company has taken 100 rupee loan, all right? Now he is telling that no, I am insolvent. Right now it is, see, the situation is still, it is not bankrupted, he is only insolvent, all right? So he said that I am insolvent. So what haircut means is, haircut by this haircut procedure, bank will tell that okay, you can pay for, as of now you pay 60 rupee, I'll just remove this 40 rupee from your NPA account, right? Means bank is also relieved that okay, 40 rupee less in my NPA account, and they are telling that okay, chalo, we have to pay only 60 rupee. So they will be like okay, chal. So this procedure is called haircut. But the article is telling that bankers are fearing to do this haircut. Why? Because under insolvent and bankruptcy code they have not been allowed to do this haircut, and if they do haircut, then they will be questioned and investigated in the future if that company is getting bankrupted. All right, so this is so article is asking for the provision in which they must bankers must be allowed to perform this haircut activities, so that our banking sector can well tackle these NPA problems. Now guys, let's move on to the next slide. That was the first very way forward method which was being said in article. Now let's see a few more way forward methods. Article is telling that it is due to the promoter which leads to the delaying an NPA resolution. Means promoters are the company's very main figure who just have a very basic work in running the company. So article is telling that there is a delay occurring due to the promoter activity, right? And RBI is not having any regulatory power over promoters. So article is not telling that RBI should tackle these promoters also, but RBI is telling article is telling that there must be some provisions in which promoters must also be having the provisions to get regulated. All right. So this was all about it, guys. And next point is National Company Law Tribunal. There is very capacity constraint of National Capacity Law Tribunal as of now. All right, and article is criticizing the the jurisdictions that are being given to the NCLT. All right, and it is telling that there must be change of jurisdictions, right? There must be increased devolved power to them, so that they can tackle this issue very smoothly. All right, and last but not the least, government is article is promoting for that there must be regulatory change in all the stakeholders. Means whosoever are being the stakeholders associated with this non-performing asset issue, there must be a change in them, right? So this was all about it, guys. We'll meet in the prelims focus news discussion as of now. Till then, bye bye, take care.